Hey, hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Fantasy Football Fever. It is Tuesday night, October 7th, 2025. Wherever, whenever, and however you're watching, thanks for making this part of your week. Of course, I am Tim McClellan, America's favorite armchair football fan, joined as always by my two buddies who I really can't do this show without. First, of course, over here is Mr. John Flynn, the host of the Hooked on Sports podcast. How you doing, bud?
Hey, Tim, how you doing today?
Doing okay. How about you?
I'm doing good myself. I mean, it's a different sleep schedule tonight, but I made time to do this, so let's get to it.
All right. Of course, also joining us down here is our lead commissioner, John Natale.
Hello, everybody. And yeah, if you're wondering why I have "Thank you, Waller" in my caption, you'll find out why shortly.
Oh yeah. Well, let's go back to week 5 before we can move forward to week 6. I mean, we're at week 6 already.
Yeah.
Wow. Time really flies when you're having a lot of fun in the NFL. Anyway, going to the very first matchup here, taking a look at Flynn's team, the Mellow Melonheads. I like that name, by the way. Uh,
Yes. So, I mean, all of my team names, so in my 4 leagues, pay homage to the old backyard football game from '99.
oh yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot about that.
so what I did made a background on the Adobe Creator Cloud and put it in there. So one league I have the All Stars, which is fitting because that's the best team in the league in the league I'm in. It's that this one they also have one of the Rockets and one of the Pigskins.
Well, anyway, the Melonheads actually took down David's team by a score of 150-98 to 101-52. And one glaring, I mean, this thing glares out as a rash over on David's side.
Look, he forgot to put a running back in when after the trade he made.
I guess he forgot to put it in there, so he
But
could have.
I don't know if I don't think it would have made a difference though.
Yeah, I mean, Jackson Dart having another great game despite a losing effort. Though he
Yeah.
got 15.58.
I mean, if you watch the game, Tim, how would you say it was a good game? Because he was rejected 16.2. He should have had a lot more, but he lost 4 points on 2 interceptions. He lost 2 points on a fumble. Yeah, it was just a horrible performance by the Giants after the which mind you after the first 2 drives were touchdowns, but then they got shut out the rest of the way by the Saints.
Ugh.
Which that
I,
I
I,
mean it's hard to win in this league when you lose the turnover battle of 5-0.
and I did not see that coming because, as you may remember, I had the Giants as my lock of the week.
Yeah.
Oof. Ooh, that means
Yeah,
I'm the only undefeated one left in Locker of the Week games.
yeah, and I mean, you could tell that Natale and I were not as confident about the Giants as you guys were. So yeah, and
And I
we were
figured,
for
I
a reason.
figured, I figured after the very nice game that Dart had the previous week, I thought he would repeat it, but somehow that did not quite come to fruition. So, and it looks like he got some big scores. Ooh, Kyron Williams, I was kind of down on him this year, but he's doing quite well. And let's see who else. Run CMC, very nice production there. Tyler Warren, 14-4. Chris Olave, I think he's still relevant.
It's, I mean, so I mean,
12-9.
Uh, yeah, I mean, he wasn't the big one for the Saints because Rasheed he got the an 87-yard touchdown, beat Tyler Nubin down on a go route, and he went bye. And so that touchdown pass from Rattler to Shahid was the turning point of the game.
Yeah, see. Unfortunately, it got zippity doo dah from the Seahawks defense.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have made a difference because because I still won by a lot.
Yeah, you did. Of course, besides that glaring empty spot from David's side of the running back position, got 12-12 from Drake May, 16-6 from Devon Achan, 13-7 from A.J. Brown, 12-9 from Stephon Diggs. Another good performance, 16-5, 13-7 from George Pickens. Of course, I'm reading the wrong numbers. 24-6 from Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
So he had a pretty good day. Let's see what bench players left you some points on the table. Let's see here.
I couldn't play them because I was overbooked with Jordan Addison, Cortland Sutton, and hey, with the way my receivers are going, Jordan Addison might be a good trade chip that I could use in a trade, maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, same thing with David Njoku, who had a good game against the Vikings.
Yeah. And 32 points from Jamar Chase left on the table from David. Oh, man. There's some pretty good points from Dalton Kincaid, Jordan Mason. So basically, after that matchup, that puts Flynn 3-2, while David goes to 1-4. Next matchup. It was Lucas and Andrew got a victory here, 127-8 versus 109-84.
They handed Lucas his first loss.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at the starters here. Bo Nix with a respectable 17.88, 17-8 from Saquon. Derrick Henry 10-3, kind of a little bit underachieved there.
I mean, Lamar Jackson not being there had a lot to do with that.
Oh, exactly. 14-9 from 14-9 from Lad McConkey. 14 points from Olukun. Olukun.
Yeah. I mean, he was great for that for Jacksonville in their win over the Chiefs on Monday night.
Got 11 points from the Bronco defense. Meanwhile, despite the fact that Puka Nakua Matata earned Lucas a 24.5, and he got 14.64 from Justin Herbert and 16.7 from Jameer Gibbs. Keenan Allen kind of underachieved a little bit there with 11-8. Zach Ertz was a no-show, basically in the points range. And Ted McMillan only got 13-3. And let me look down here at the bench players. Looks like Jaden Daniels got 14 points on the bench, and Calvin Ridley left him 18.1 on the bench. Meanwhile,
it's amazing. I mean, Calvin Ridley had some very tough matchups the first 4 weeks of the season because he was going up against the likes of Patrick Surtain. He was going up against Derek Stingley, among others. But now that he's got some favorable corner matchups coming up, I think you're going to start to see Calvin Ridley show the receiver that I believe he was at the start of the season.
Yeah, the only really thing from Andrew's bench is he left 11.8 from Zach Charbonnet. So with that, Lucas is 4-1 now, while Andrew moves up to 2-3. Next matchup we're going to take a look at is my matchup, and I fell once again. This time to Alex, 147.2 to 131.12. He got 26.9 points from Javonte Williams. I'm telling you, I am really, really impressed with this Williams kid.
I mean, you talk about the Cowboys running back room as being so god awful last year after the way they handled the free agency a couple of years ago, and now they have some dudes in the running back room, and it's amazing what it can do to free up the passing attack for Dak Prescott.
Yeah, the Cowboys are actually getting their running game back, which is very, very nice to see. Got 23 points from Jalen Waddle, 11.4 from Travis Hunter, 11 from Dalton Schultz, 12 from Carson Schlesinger, 14 points from Schlesinger, 14 points from the Texans special teams. Got 15.3 from Kyler Murray, not up to the projected total that he was extended. Meanwhile, I was going to try to start Jared Goff instead of Dak Prescott this week, and well, what did it get me? Yeah, he left me 28 points on the bench from Prescott, compared to only 20.12 points from Jared Goff. Cam Scatterbo got me 14-4. Nick Chubb got me 12-1. Zay Flowers 12-2. 11-1 from Jay Tucker. 23-9 from Jake Ferguson. I like that. And there's a result there. Down to the bench.
Yeah, and look, Jake Ferguson is averaging 17.2 points per game. He's the number one tight end in fantasy right now, and the gap between him and the next best tight end is not close.
And I got 20.2 points from Sam Laporta. Left that on the bench for me, so oh boy. Meanwhile, Alex didn't really leave many points on the table except 11-9 from Cooper Kupp. That's pretty much it right there. So with that, Alex goes to 2-3, while I dropped to 1-4.
Yeah, and this was really a big win for Alex because no Bijan Robinson and no Drake London because the Falcons were on bye this week. Yeah, but yet he was still able to win because he put Javonte Williams in and he made sure Jalen Waddle, the first full game for him, being the lead target for the Dolphins without Tyreek Hill. So good fantasy management this week from Alex, and that's what led him to a victory.
Yep. And so the next one we had Natale versus Adam, and Natale took this one at 156.96 to 150.92. Looks like you did pretty good, Natale, especially with Baker Mayfield. 26.66. Okay, and 31-3
number 3 running back.
Number 3 running back in the league.
Number 3 quarterback in fantasy so far.
Oh, number 3 quarterback in fantasy. And how about that awesome rookie, Emeka Egbuka? 31.3 points from him.
Oh yeah.
And
I love my rookies.
Yes,
and Egbuka is the number 3 wide receiver. He's averaging 20 and a half PPR points a game, and
that is absolutely outrageous.
Seven catches, 163 yards, and a touchdown on 7 targets. So he caught all 7 of his targets for 163 yards and a touchdown.
Well, it looks like Natale, you mentioned thank you Waller, so he came through with 18 points.
Because the main thing is if I decided not to pick him up on the fly, I would have lost. Because my other tight ends, they got less points than he did.
Dallas Goedert and TJ Hawkinson. So
yeah, and with that being said, league mates, if you're watching with us, I am now going to entertain offers since there's no point in me having 3 tight ends. I'm going to be listening to offers for either TJ Hawkinson or Dallas Goedert. You need tight end help? Let me know if you guys are watching.
So I would if I had if I didn't have Njoku and Warren, I probably would have been entertained by that. But
yeah, I know you don't need. I know a couple of people could use probably tight end help. I think Lucas could use tight end help. I'm not sure about anybody else offhand.
Yeah, because I know Lucas could probably use one, but
Mm-hmm.
I believe, but these were two of the three highest scores of the week, so that's it. So this was a tough loss for Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he goes to 2 and 3, while Natale goes to 3 and 2.
Thank you, Walt.
Despite getting three touchdown runs from Jonathan Taylor and 8 catches and 96 yards and a touchdown from Deebo Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And the final matchup, it was Dino against Casey, and Dino took the victory 145-2 versus 130.32. How about this? Rico Dowdle for the Panthers, 33.4. Wow.
That was I guess he had Josh Jacobs off this week, so
Right.
and Chuba Hubbard didn't play, so boom, he puts Rico Dowdle into his lineup, and because of that he's 5-0.
Yeah, he got 23-1 from Rashad White, 19-5 from Jalen Hurts. Meanwhile, on his bench, only 19.4 on the bench. That was from Devontae Smith.
He had 3 Packers on his team, and they were all on the bye week.
Yeah.
So basically every available body he needed was in. So
yeah, definitely. So for Casey, he got 26.72 from Patrick Mahomes. Got 19.3 from Justin Jefferson, 18 from Amon-Ra St. Brown, 27.2 from JSN.
Yeah, Jackson Smith and Jigba are currently ranks 4th. I mean, so it's something. Because Egbuka and Jackson Smith and Jigba both in Ohio State draft picks.
Yeah. Got 15 from the Lions defense special teams. And he missed. Well, he got 26.72 from Patrick Mahomes, but he could have gotten 28.76 from CJ Stroud. And Michael Pittman left 14.9 on the bench, while Daniel Jones left him 16.68.
Natale, this is the perfect trade partner for you for your tight ends, because his only tight end is Jawan Johnson.
Yeah, man, I could use wide receiver help, so I got to see what wide receivers does he have.
It's like he has Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Jacoby Myers, and Michael Pittman Jr.
Yeah, probably my best chance if he were to approve it'd probably be for Pittman or something.
Yeah,
that would be my best chance. I don't really have any interest in Pittman though. It's the only thing. Well, maybe Pittman might be an okay piece.
With the offense, Shane Steichen's dialing up for Daniel Jones in Indianapolis. He's definitely someone. So that you want to look. Michael Pittman Jr. ranks 14th. Because he has 4. Because so far this season he has 28 catches, 273 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I might wait till the following week, because I'm considering starting Goddard this week, but I haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
And so with that, Dino, look at Dino, undefeated, 5-0. Very nice. So right now, let's take a look at the sections here. We got Dino 5-0 in his division, followed by Lucas at 4-1. Flynn and Natale both tied 3-2. And I'm bringing up the rear at 1-4. I'm not doing too good this year so far. I got to make some serious changes. Meanwhile, a 4-way tie for first place, 2-3. Adam, Alex, Andrew, and Casey, and then David at 1 and 4. So that's what the standings look like after 5 weeks of fantasy competition in our league.
Yeah. It's and then in terms of points scored, I lead the way with 713, Adam 711, and then Natale, you're in the middle. Tim is closer to the bottom. For that. So yeah, but Adam has had bad luck with who he's been going up against. So yes.
Yeah,
So why don't we take a look now at our what's coming up for week 6 if this comes up, and we'll start with Natale's matchup
Sure.
against David.
Yeah, let's take a look at that here. Let's see here. We got So
Yeah,
right
so
now,
why don't we
get this thing going here. There we
Yep.
go. Put in the numbers. 118.7 to 111 even is right now projected totals for both teams. Let's see here. It looks like the check marks kind of favor David a little bit.
Yeah. So, but of course, the big advantage is that Dave doesn't have a second running back in his lineup right now. So,
Right, he needs to fill that empty spot right there. So, David, if you're watching, buddy, got some here. Meanwhile, ooh. So that's what that looks like.
Yeah, I got to pick up a defense. The Vikings are on the bye this week, and the Vikings are the number 1 defense right now in the league.
so in terms of fantasy, yes, because of all the because of the takeaways and all that stuff.
Yeah, that
Right,
big 31-point game, I think.
Yep. So that's what that lineup looks like right now.
Uh-huh.
Where are we going to go next? Let's take a look at my matchup. I have a matchup against Andrew this week.
Yeah.
Right now, he has a 133.5 advantage over my 123.7. So I'm not sure. Let's see here. Cam Scatterbo against Philadelphia. Not too sure if I want to start Swift against the Commanders. And let's see, I got CeeDee Lamb still out. Booker Irving is questionable. Ricky Pearsall questionable. Keon Coleman. I don't know about Chug or Coleman or Slayton. I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. I may have to go to the waiver wires see what I can find.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it looks like Andrew's got the advantage in pretty much almost every single category right there. So looks like you may have a solid team. I gotta make some serious changes.
Yeah.
Let's yeah, we'll go ahead and take a look at it for this matchup against Lucas.
Ooh, this one's really a tight one.
Tight one right off the bat, 147.3 to 146.4. So it looks like Flynn's got most of the advantage on the top side of the list here, while Lucas has an advantage on the bottom side.
Yeah. Flynn is hoping that Lamar Jackson will be able to play.
Yeah, I mean, it's because I really don't want to start Jackson Dart against the Eagles on Thursday night, and because he plays Thursday night, we don't know. how am I
Yeah.
gonna handle that for Sunday if he can't
Yeah,
go?
It's either you got to play it safe and start Dart, or just pray that Jackson's able to play. He can't play,
Yeah.
then you have to scramble for another quarterback and make a drop.
Yeah, but I don't think the Ravens want to go to 1-5. So I think that the idea is Jackson will play, but
I thought I heard he was missing 2 games from what I heard, but we'll see.
yeah, and then next week Lamar Jackson is off while Jackson Dart's got the Broncos. So it's gonna be gonna be tough sledding there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just gotta hope some of my other guys keep stepping up, like Christian McCaffrey, Kyron Williams.
Yep. Who are we gonna look at next?
I think we're gonna look at Adam and Casey.
All righty then. Adam and Casey, and looks like Adam has a 139.5 advantage over 107.5 for Casey. So Casey's got an empty spot in his lineup at running back position. So
Oh, and he also lost Spencer Schrader for the year because he's now injured reserve.
oh yeah, so he's gonna have to make a change there too. And he's got one wide receiver, one defensive end, and one quarterback on the bench that is available because all his other players have the bye week.
And I'm also looking at him. He's got the top 2 kickers in fantasy: Chase McLaughlin and Brandon Aubrey.
Yep. Yep, that boy got a hold of Aubrey before I could.
Yep. So then that leaves a Putnam and Dino.
Yep. Dino with his 5-0 record going up against Alex, and Dino has 142.6 to 108.5, and it looks like all the check marks, almost all of them are on Dino's side here. Looking at Alex's bench players, Brock Bowers is questionable. Mike Evans is out. But he's got a...
Still doing with that hamstring.
Yep, still dealing with a hamstring here, so... Be interesting to see what happens there, so... So that's pretty much our review of Week 5 and Week 6 over on the fantasy side of things here.
Yep. And as we get back, we take this out. We do have one question to go on before we start our hot topics.
All right, we have Evan 445 saying Josh Allen, Brock Bowers, Rasheed Rice for Patrick Mahomes, DK Metcalf, Brian Thomas, 4-1 with Kyle Pitts on the Bears, and weak wide receivers. Any thoughts?
If you're getting the players if you're the one getting the players on the left side, I would say absolutely. But if you're the one that's trading those players, then I say absolutely not. Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the league right now, and Brock Bowers is struggling a little bit, but I think he's going to get it together. And then once Rasheed Rice comes back, he's going to be unstoppable. So yeah, if these are your players, I say hold on to them.
Is that I'm actually going to disagree with you on this one, Natale. It's because look, Patrick Mahomes is having I mean, he's not being talked about enough, but he is actually having a good season for fantasy for fantasy standards. So because which is something we've not gotten used to and believe it or not, so Josh Allen is in terms of fantasy so far. Is number 1 in points per game. Did you know he's number 3? Patrick Mahomes. So I would absolutely do this trade. So it's because you need to fill up 2 wide receiver spots, and Patrick Mahomes already has 3 rushing touchdowns, 1,257 passing yards, which ranks 6th in the NFL. And 8 touchdowns, and then he's got 190 rushing yards, which are all top 10 amongst quarterbacks. So,
yeah.
I would if you have Mahomes, Metcalf, and Thomas, I would keep him.
Yeah, sounds like an interesting thought right there. Well, anyway, it's time to go into some hot topics, and boy, do we have a good list of topics for you today.
Yeah, we also got. And I think the first one on our list has got to be that of has to be that of Dak Prescott, because he's just having a in my view, a remarkable season so far, and in five games so far, he is 139 completions on 195 attempts, which is good for a 71.2% completion percentage. It's 1,356 yards passing, 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So he's had 3 of the last 4 weeks. He's finished top 5 weekly. He had a 28.3 point output last week, 31 points the week before in the game against the Packers, and now he's got a couple of favorable matchups coming out next couple of weeks. Because this week he's at Carolina, and then the following week the home against Washington, and I figured that's going to be a back and forth game. So where do you guys stand on where Dak Prescott falls in the MVP standings?
Second place.
So behind who?
I'd say behind Josh Allen.
Yeah, that's a tough one for me to decide. He's hard for me to evaluate right now. I mean, the Cowboys are looking a little bit better, but it feels like one of those moments where I have to see a little bit more.
Right.
Seeing a little bit more. I mean, the Cowboys' offensive line is banged up. He's without CeeDee Lamb, so he's without several key starters on offense. Yeah, he's still putting up those numbers. And look, I get that. I get that he was playing the Jets last week, who just can't even do anything right in terms of tackling, in terms of discipline. I mean, you could look at the Jets maybe having a new head coach next year, and I think and Aaron Glenn somehow has made the Jets defense worse last year than it was a year ago. So that's a mess in and of itself. But right now I have Dak Prescott number 3 at my MVP voting behind Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield, because what Baker Mayfield has done has been incredible. 4 walk-off wins in 4 games in the 4 wins that they've had. So, and it's been against good competition too. That you look at the Houston, their defense is good. You had Seattle, and I told you that was the game of the week. That went back and forth. Tampa won the game, but yeah, he's just been exceptional so far. He ranks number 5 in fantasy. He is in each of his 5 weeks so far. He's finished top 15 in quarterback points. His best output was this past week in the shootout in Seattle. And how about this? 379 yards, 2 tutties against Seattle. A Seahawks defense that had been playing really well up to then. So that was as impressive a win as I saw. Saw this week.
Yeah, I see Prescott is second place among quarterbacks with total yards. Matthew Stafford has got 1,503. Dak Prescott 1,356. So yeah, I'd say that Prescott is really rolling here. So we'll see here, and of course, Baker Mayfield. What a season he's having so far. That's pretty awesome there. We have some injury reports we have to tell you about. So first off, this awesome rookie running back Omarion Hampton for the Chargers had ankle injury this past week, so he's going to be out a minimum 4 games going on the IR. So kind of a shock to the system since Najee Harris is already out for the season. Now you got Omarion Hampton out. So next one up.
Somebody named Haskins, I think.
It's got to be Hassan Haskins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Hassan Haskins, because he was a stud. I think he went to Michigan. University of Michigan. He was a terrific back there. And then he was drafted in the 4th round by the Titans in 2022, but then he was placed on waivers by Tennessee, and then picked up by the Chargers, and then you have him in a Charger uniform. Right now, he's the current only healthy running back on the active roster. Another name that you should also consider. His name is Kamara Vidal. So he was signed to the practice squad. And someone who I think they're also going to elevate to the active roster. So he was a 6th round pick from Troy last year in the 2024 draft. So I think he is going to be squarely in the opportunity to compete for running back touches with Hassan Haskins.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how Haskins does trying to pick up the running game for the Chargers there. Meanwhile, over in Jacksonville, their tight end, Brenton Strange, has been placed on the IR.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was placed on the IR until we were going through going through our team. So yeah, that's that. I mean, there were some smart people that thought Brenton Strange would be the winning sleeper pick in fantasy this year, but that is probably not going to turn out to be the case.
Probably not. Right there. Meanwhile, we do have one player who's out for the season with a torn ACL, and that's Patriots running back Antonio Gibson.
Yeah.
Patriots having a good season, but now he's gone out. So I guess they'll probably have to rely more on Drake May's arm, I guess. Or they still have Ramondre Stevenson, I forgot. So see what happens there. Oh, we had a trade in the last 24 hours. It's crazy. I don't know what to think of Cleveland anymore. They decide to trade Joe Flacco to their in-division rivals, the Cincinnati Bengals, for a 2026 6th round pick, and Cleveland gets a 5th round pick to there.
The Eagles are desperate. I think they're seriously concerned about Joe Burrow. He's probably missing even more time. I think Bengals are desperate. It's not going to work.
And also they're concerned about the play of Jake Browning because they thought they'd be fine with Jake Browning based upon the work he did a couple years ago, but know that that's just not the case.
Yeah, so I mean, what was it before the season started? The Browns had 5 quarterbacks on the roster, and now they're down to 2.
Yeah, that's crazy. And 2 rookie quarterbacks.
2 rookies, no less. Oh, it's just, I don't know what to think about that general manager for Cleveland. I don't know what to think of that here. So we have another. Yeah, you mentioned earlier during our fantasy recaps, the Colts kicker Spencer Schrader out for the season with a knee injury.
Yeah,
mentioned that earlier. So hoping they can get another one to.
It looks like Michael Badgley is going to be replacing Spencer Schrader.
Yeah, so we'll see how that works out.
the former Charger kicker. And so I think we talked a lot of that, but I also wanted to talk about what happened in the Cardinal game. It's because this could be a play that could transform the whole season for the Cardinals, because if you see here, this is Emari DeMercado. It's a breaking free, and it looks like he was going to go all the way to the end zone, put icing on the cap. So, but then what happened is he fumbled the ball just before the end zone. He reached the end zone. It was a touchback. As you can see here, he let the ball go just before the goal line. And it is and that basically allowed the Titans to have a chance to come back. So and it was a game that the Titans won. It was the first win for Cam Ward in his career. 22-21 was the final. And you really got to think that might be the nail in the coffin for DeMercado. So I think Michael Carter is definitely someone you want to pick up on the waiver wire this week, because Michael Carter, after that mistake, looked pretty competent. So
Yeah, and of course, one thing that actually came out of that was what happened on the Cardinals sideline when DeMercado went back to the sideline, and that little video of his coach seemed like giving a tirade went viral.
yeah.
He apologized to that on Monday morning, but today the organization, not the NFL, but the organization, has fined the head coach John again $100,000 for that little thing on the sideline. But he seemed very very remorseful, and so
I said, but I think that the thinking is like why with that, because because that mistake lost them the game, basically. It allowed it was like the turning point of the game. And really, this was a season filled with a lot of promise for the Cardinals, because I picked the Cardinals to make the playoffs. I thought they had a good roster, but but now this might be one where where 3 years in a row would not make it the playoffs with Jonathan Gannon, and the Cardinals could be looking for a new head coach next year.
oh yeah. Just have to say over there. Speaking of fines,
Oh, I know where you're going. I know where you're going next.
file this under I saw this coming. Yep. Good old Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones. He got fined $250,000 for flipping off the Jets fans over at MetLife Stadium this past Sunday. Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. Um, I have. I don't know how to react to that. I mean, yeah, it was an inappropriate thing, but it doesn't sound like anything Jerry would actually do. But someone caught it, and now he's been fined $250,000. But I mean, to that, $250,000 is like chicken feed or peanuts. I mean, I'll bet you anything. His yearly family Christmas parties cost more than that 250,000.
Yep.
Yeah. So, what's going through his mind
I
with
want me
that?
some glory hole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I might as well unload the gun
Ever
here.
dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? What?
Because I've danced with the devil, the financial devil, and lived to tell about it.
Yeah. So, anyway, moving on.
It's and this is starting to become the end of the line for some of these veteran future Hall of Fame running backs, because Alvin Kamara had supposedly a favorable matchup against the Giants on Sunday, but he only had 9.5 fantasy points. He had 4 catches, 55 total all-purpose yards, and no touchdowns. He has not scored a touchdown since week 1. In the loss to the Arizona Cardinals. So would you say, given his snap percentage and the lack of production from the running from the ground game, is he concerned about Kamara the rest of the year?
Absolutely.
Looking that way.
I was hoping he was going to have an upside this year, because it seemed like it was kind of low last year and the year before. So I was kind of hoping for a nice comeback. But the way his numbers are going right now, I mean, 45, 99, 42, 70, 27. It's kind of fluctuating there, and that's not normal.
It can be, but he hasn't had a game where he's averaged 5 yards a carry yet this year. And the thing is, Kamara became a big fantasy star based upon his role in the receiving game, and he has been decent in the receiving game, but he's not getting the ball's not getting to him. And that's a big problem. So then you have that, and also another running back just above him, Derrick Henry, who's ranked number 23 through the first few weeks of the season, and his numbers have not been good since the Buffalo game week 1.
Oh wow! Look at that drop off. Oh my gosh. Go from 169 in week 1 to 23 in week 2, then up to 50 week 3, 42 week 4, 33 week 5. That's that doesn't sound like the Derrick Henry that I used to know. Scary. That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, I mean, and those were and it's like Derrick Henry was a shoo-in to be a first round pick, to be picked in the top 20 in drafts for this year, but
Yeah, but it just seems like I don't know what's going on here. Meanwhile, it looks like free agent wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. is going to serve a 6-game suspension for PED use. He'll be eligible to return in week 12. But if he's trying to sell his services, could anybody want to buy him? I mean, he's not.
That's not looking good for him at all.
Yeah, week 12 will be his week of eligibility, but any takers?
I mean, not at this point. No, maybe the Kansas City Chiefs if something goes wrong with their wide receivers. I mean, he would fit in well with veterans trying to chase rings.
Yeah.
Oh, and here's another interesting spot for you guys, and you can tell me if you agree with this. The Buffalo Bills.
Maybe I kind of see that in a way, because they don't have a clear best receiver right now. So
I mean, they have Khalil Shakir, they have Keon Coleman, but
Yeah.
I could see Odell being a good slot receiver in that offense.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that in the slot is where I feel Odell is best at.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe if Buffalo wants to take a chance on Odell Beckham. I probably wouldn't blame them.
Yeah, but yeah, and anyway, so I think we did we hit on everything that I put in the description. Let me just double check. I think we did. Um, so let me just let me just check that out right now. Um, yeah, it's also how about that 49ers Rams game that last Thursday night? That was that was an incredible theater on the West Coast. While the East Coast was getting Yankees Red Sox, the West Coast was tuned in to that another barn burner of a game. The 49ers were without George Kittle, without Ricky Pearsall, without Jawan Jennings, without Brock Purdy, but yet they went down to Southern Cal and beat the Rams in overtime.
Yeah. How is it that a team that is more banged up than cars at a demolition derby can still be good?
It's, I think part of it for this specific matchup was was that it was a divisional game, so there's usually a lot of there's a ramped up intensity to that, but Kyle Shanahan is such a genius when it comes to implementing systems with different types of players, and I think that the two things to me in that game were that as good as Kevin Williams was in that game, the Yankees just won, by the way. With that fumble with a minute left at the 1 yard line, a chance to go up by 4 points. That was bad, and then the 4th and 1, the 49ers stacked the box and they tried to run it, but they were stopped. Where at that point where I thought they should have went to Puka Nacua because he was their best playmaker. So I was flabbergasted on that, but. But Christian McCaffrey being Christian McCaffrey makes a huge difference, and
Right.
I couldn't be more thankful that I have Christian McCaffrey in this league.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm still going to keep my eye on those Niners. I mean, like I said, I don't know how a team that's so banged up can still be so good. So, and give credit where credit is due. I mean, Kyle Shanahan, great head coach. Uh, isn't John Lynch still in the front office there,
Yeah,
or
John Lynch is still the general manager. Yes, John Lynch,
manager?
John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan have been together for 9 years in San Francisco.
And they have made a pretty damn good team so far, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's it with the topics, right?
Right.
Oh, so we have a little trivia time. Well, I came up with this question.
All
Yeah,
right.
I don't have. I have nothing. I don't have anything this week.
All right. So it's just you tonight, Tim.
Oh, it's just me?
Yep.
Okay. I kind of based this question off of another question that I heard on my local sports radio show. Um, they did this question about the Cowboys,
Okay.
but tonight I'm going to do this question about the New York Football Giants.
Oh.
Since you two are big Giants fans, I came up with this question. I looked at this and I said, I said, Jameis Winston is, of course, with the Giants, and he won the Heisman Trophy back in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So that got me thinking of something. I did a little research. So the question is, before Jameis Winston, who was the last Heisman winner to wear a Giants uniform?
Ooh.
You said quarterback or player in general?
A player in general.
Okay.
The last Before Jameis Winston, who was the last Heisman winner to wear a Giants uniform?
Hmm.
Mm. And so we'll have some thinking to do with that, but
as we now go to our week 6 predictions here, and we will first go to, well, we're going to begin with the New York Football Giants as they have a divisional matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles, and Philadelphia is picked by 7.5. So since I'm the Cowboy fan, I guess I will start on this one here. Philadelphia, they they're surviving. They're surviving. I mean, they're still one of the top teams in the NFC, probably the top team in the NFC. They're surviving. There might be a few chinks in the armor here and there. Meanwhile, the Giants are coming off of a kind of a terrible performance after getting their first win with Jackson Dart as their quarterback. I'm looking at this year at MetLife Stadium. Philadelphia picked by 7.5. I say, I hate to say this, guys, but I think Philadelphia will get it back together, and they're going to really give Jackson Dart a run for his money. So I'm taking the Eagles. I'm giving the points. I mean, Eagles will win and cover pretty good here. I've got the Eagles over the Giants by a score of 30-20.
Yes. When do you go next?
so I mean, I'm just happy I finally won a Thursday night game last week against the spread with the Niners and the Rams. But I think this is going to be. Don't get me wrong. I think the Eagles are going to win. I think that this should be a get right game for AJ Brown and Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts because that Giants secondary is a hot mess. Right now, because Paulson Debo's been bad. Javon Holland has not been great either. But I do think that the Eagles is still the offensive line play is still not where they want it to be because they still want to get back to 100%, and the play calling by Kevin Patullo has been bad. So especially in that fourth quarter of the Denver game, that they got way too conservative holding on to a lead there. So I'm going to pick grab the points with the Giants, but I'm going to pick the Eagles to win the game 27-21.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I actually do not like this matchup for the Giants one bit. It's been years since they've beaten the Eagles. And Giants have come close several times. They can't get the job done. And what makes this worse for them, this is a primetime game. The Giants play even worse when it's primetime. They absolutely choke, whether it's Sunday night, Monday night, or even Thursday night. And yeah, I feel so good about this. I'm currently 5-0 in my lock of the week games. Say hello to 6-0. I'm picking the Eagles over the Giants, 32-16. My lock of the week. Welcome to 6-0.
Wow.
All right. I hope you're wrong on this one, but I'm afraid you'll be right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was because, and like I said earlier at the beginning of the show, it's because of the Giants that I got eliminated from my eliminator competition this year because I figured the Giants would be the Saints, and yeah. So,
I guess if
moving
I
on.
was playing a game like that, I would still be in it. I haven't had a lock of the week wrong yet.
Oh yeah, you would. Okay, now we're going to London, England. We have the Denver Broncos against the New York Jets, and the Broncos are coming in this one as 7-point favorites. Lynn, let me get your pick on Broncos and Jets.
I mean, so much for thinking that the Jets would turn it around, but I think this game is going to say more about the Jets than it's going to say about the Broncos because the Jets were so unprepared. They're so mental. They lack discipline. They lack toughness. So they lack everything you want in a football team. And it was a team that kicked Aaron Rodgers, future Hall of Famer, out the door. Despite having a good last 9 weeks of the season, said this was a team that decided to replace a defensive coach with a defensive coach, and just hasn't turned out to make a difference because of the lack of toughness on this team, like yelling to the players after a loss to Miami, and then coming out flat against the Cowboys. They only scored 6 points through 3 quarters against the 32nd ranked defense in the NFL. Do you realize how hard that is to accomplish? Well, Justin Fields and the Jets offense accomplished that. Luckily for me, Justin Fields gave me a lot of garbage time points in the fourth quarter with those 2 touchdowns that he threw and all the yardage. But I've been riding Justin Fields all year. I'm not riding him this week. Give me the Broncos to win the game 28-13 over the Jets. There'll be no letdown for the Broncos after that win over Philly.
All right, Natale, let me hear what you got.
Yeah. Broncos are having a pretty good start to their season. Yeah. And the Jets are still the only winless team left in the league. And yeah, I honestly don't see this changing anytime soon. The way it's looking right now, the Jets are probably only going to get 2 wins this season, maybe 3. I mean, this was my runner-up contention for lock of the week. But yeah, since I can only pick one, I had to go with the other one. So yeah, give me the Jets the Broncos to easily win this one and cover 24-14.
Okay, well, obviously, I am going to make this unanimous here. Bo Nix and the Broncos having a very great season. I think the defense is just slightly better than their offense. Meanwhile, the Jets are, the Jets are the Jets. So I'm just going to make it short and sweet. I'm going to take the Broncos, win and cover. Broncos 33, Jets 21.
And also, I think this should be a get right game for Evan Ingram because he's going up against a Jets defense that just gave up a couple of touchdowns to Jake Ferguson. So I mean, if he does not get back on track this week, I don't know what to tell you. Because in my other league, my 2 tight ends were Evan Ingram and Brenton Strange, and now Brenton Strange is on the IR. So my hopes of tight end for the moment are going to be reliant on Evan Ingram. Which, what can possibly go wrong? Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
What could go wrong? Well,
what could possibly go wrong?
Right. So we go to Baltimore, where the Ravens are going to be at home against the Los Angeles Rams, and the Rams coming in at 7.5-point favorites. I think with every passing week, the Ravens are kind of getting weaker and weaker. And of course, the absence of Lamar Jackson is one of the factors there. Meanwhile, the Rams are getting better and better. So with that, I'm going to go ahead. I say the Rams win and cover. They will take down the Ravens by a score of 31-23. And I proudly say, Nakua Matata. So what do you think, guys?
Yeah, I mean, not even Lamar Jackson is going to come in and save the day for this terrible Ravens defense going up against Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Look, we're going to play this tonight at 7.5, and that's the line we're going to use for tonight. But I think a big disclaimer is that the line is going to depend based upon what happens with Lamar Jackson. That if Lamar Jackson, if the trend is he's going to play, then that spread is going to be knocked down at least in half. with that. But even with then, I as much as I hate to say this because I picked the Ravens to win the Super Bowl, I think the Rams are gonna should be able to go in and take care of business against the Baltimore Ravens. And coming off the loss last week in San Francisco, so if it wasn't for those two inexcusable losses to the Eagles and the 49ers, the Rams would be 5-0. So I think the Rams are going to bounce back and win 34-24 over the Ravens. And also, mind you, that the Rams also said it's also been revealed that the Rams are going to be practicing for the London game. And you know where they're going to be practicing from before they move to take the flight over to London? Oriole Park at Camden Yards.
Really?
Yes. So they'll be practicing at a baseball stadium for a couple of days before they fly out to England.
That's an interesting venue.
Yeah, I mean, I was at both venues on the same day at one point this summer. When I went down to Baltimore.
All right. So, Natale, you got to pick for Rams, Ravens?
Yeah, I do. I think this one's actually going to be a lot more interesting than people think. I mean, the Ravens are in trouble. They know it. They're in must-win mode. And they're gonna really work hard at this. If Lamar Jackson indeed returns, but who knows if that'll happen, then it's going to be a super close game. Either way, though, I still have this as a very close game. I think the Ravens are going to play a lot better than people think, but they're going to come up a bit short. I'm going to take the Ravens with the points, but I'm actually going to give the Rams the win on this one. I'll go 28-24. But if for some reason Lamar Jackson is active, don't be surprised if it's a very close game.
Right. Something to keep an eye on by the time game time comes around here. And the next game, well, it's my game.
Yep.
Dallas Cowboys head into Carolina to take on the Panthers, a team that has kind of stymied the Cowboys for the last 10 or so years. I mean, sometimes Cowboys would win, sometimes the Panthers would win. This year, in this particular game, actually, Cowboys are picked by only 3.5. That seems kind of low in my opinion. A little bit.
Well, if you go back the last 20 years, the Panthers are 2-8 against the Cowboys. One of the wins was a win without Tony Romo on Thanksgiving back in 2015. But the last 2 years, the Panthers have hosted the Cowboys in Carolina, and they lost 2 years ago by 23 points, and they lost last year by 16 points. But I think that's going to change a little bit this week. Now, I think the Cowboys are going to win. So, but based on what I saw in the fourth quarter, I think the Cowboys shutting down the Jets is more of a blip than a trend. And look, Tedor McMillan, I think he has some matchups in this game. I think Rico Dowdle, his first Rico Dowdle revenge game maybe coming up on Sunday. So I think those two are going to have good afternoons against a dreadful Dallas defense. But I'm going to pick the Cowboys to win because of what Dak Prescott's done. We mentioned Dak Prescott. All of us have him top 3 for league MVP.
Yeah.
I think he should be able to put up 20 points at least in fantasy. So I think it's going to be a terrific game. Give me the Cowboys to win 27-24 over the Panthers. So I'm going to grab the points with Carolina.
Ooh.
Oh. Interesting there.
Last week I was on my Hooked on Sports picks. I was 8-6 against the spread, and I finally started picking underdogs regularly. So,
oh, nice. Yeah, this one I think Dallas is clearly the better team here. I mean, Panthers have been hit or miss, so like we said before, Dak Prescott, he's really improving. He's getting protection and whatnot. And George Pickens been incredibly solid. So, with that said, I'm going to take Dallas here. I'll go 27-21.
Alrighty then, since it's my team, yeah, you had great. George Pickens has been a great addition to the Cowboys since we got him from Pittsburgh. You can only imagine what could happen if when CeeDee Lamb comes back. I mean, if he and George Pickens are on the same page, I mean, man, I think we could have a durable barrel chance of making the run for the playoffs. And as Flynn said earlier, we have a couple of favorable matchups. We have this one Sunday against Carolina. Then we have a home game against the Commanders. Commanders are not quite firing on all cylinders, but
Although they did have a good looking win against the Chargers on Sunday. You should give them
they
that.
did. So we'll give them that. So as far as this game is concerned, um, I'm taking the Cowboys to win and cover here. Give me the Cowboys over the Panthers by a score of 33-20. That's how I see it there. Now to Indianapolis. The Colts are at home, 6.5-point favorites against the visiting Arizona Cardinals.
Oof,
And
yeah.
what I see here, Danny Dimes is now Danny Dollars. I mean, that team is they're just doing great. Arizona, yeah, we know about that flub last week. I think this might be closer than what the spread says here. Spread is 6.5 for Indianapolis. I'm going to go ahead and take Indianapolis, but I'm going to grab Arizona with the points. Give me Indianapolis over Arizona. Let me say 27-24. Go see 27-24. Colts with the win. Cardinals with the points.
Interesting. Yeah, I see this in a totally different way. Yeah, this is basically going to be a bloodbath here. I mean, right now you're looking at your starter for the Cardinals is going to be your running back number 4. The way it's looking, because they lose James Conner, running back 1. They lose Trey Benson, running back number 2. Emari DeMercado, he does something stupid, running back number 3, and now he's regulated to the bench. So now you got basically the guy who probably your kickoff returner, the way it's looking, or a guy you barely use. He's going to be starting, Michael Carter. And who the heck knows how he's going to do? He's probably going to have a rough go around doing the bulk of the work. The only reliable options you have right now on the Cardinals is Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride. It's been an absolute disaster for the Cardinals. Who saw this coming? I had them going to the playoffs. Now it looks like it's not going to happen. Give me the Colts to win this one easily, 31-20.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab the points with the Arizona Cardinals. Because look, I don't think Arizona is gonna win the game, per se, but take out the emotion from losing that game to the Titans, which was perhaps, to me, as bad a loss as anybody has had this year. When you consider the circumstances, considering the situation. But the Cardinals have actually their pass defense is pretty good, and the Cardinals have given up the 5th fewest fantasy points per game to quarterbacks. So it's not a great matchup for Daniel Jones. So I think when you look at their secondary, which I'm a fan of their secondary, and I love how the Cardinals addressed it in the draft process. I made sure to include that as a talking point throughout the offseason. But I want to see how Michael Carter, as you said, holds up against a pretty stout run defense in Indianapolis. So I think it's gonna be a fun game. Give me the Colts to win 24-19. So I'm gonna grab the points with Arizona. Yeah. Now this next game, Tim, I think is the single toughest game of the week for me to pick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. This is a pick 'em.
Yeah, definitely. It's a 1.5-point advantage for Jacksonville as they're hosting the Seattle Seahawks. And yeah, Jacksonville did have that somehow the breakthrough win last night against the Chiefs, but Seattle is coming in with a pretty good defense, and I'm thinking Seattle will probably win this one on the road. Uh, I'd say give me Seattle over Jacksonville by a score of 28-23.
Oh. Yeah. This one was actually super tough for me. I could really see this going either way. Yeah, Jacksonville is actually playing a lot better than most people anticipated. I mean, I thought this team was going to finish in last place when the season started, but boy, have they proven me wrong. I mean, that last play that Lawrence had, that was magical. He fell down, somehow got up, got the game-winning touchdown. Yeah, what quarterbacks do you know that could pull something like that? That was pretty amazing.
I
I
mean,
mean,
Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes could do that.
well, they wouldn't fall down though based on a botched
Yeah.
play.
Also, remember that time? I think it was the playoff game where the Colts came back with that crazy comeback against the Chiefs, and what was it? Andrew Luck recovered his own fumble, and he took it to the house, took it in for a touchdown.
Oh yeah.
And,
But, yeah.
that might be the play you might be referring to.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this game is tough, but although I kind of feel that Seattle's going to win this one, I'm going to go against my better judgment. I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to take Jacksonville 22-20.
Yeah, I think the way Jacksonville is constructed, and I kind of blame myself for my Jags takes this offseason because I disagreed with how they handled the draft, with the depth that they have. So, but they hit on a lot of their free agent picks. I mean, Olakun, for example. Has been one, and there are countless others. Their defense is pretty good. So, but Mike Macdonald in his career in his brief head coaching career is pulling out his inner 2007 Giants and winning on the road, and because Mike Macdonald is only the 5th head coach in NFL history to win 9 of his first 10 road games as a head coach. That is not an easy feat to pull off, but. But Sam Darnold just showed a lot. He went toe to toe with Baker Mayfield, and I think this feels right for an opportunity for Seattle to bounce back from that loss. And I think this is going to be a test to see if Jacksonville can handle the prosperity that they're dealing with after that riveting win over the Chiefs last night. So I think in terms of this game, I think you got some matchups. You got some good matchups for Kenneth Walker. Very good matchup for Jackson Smith and Jigba, because the Jaguars are 22nd in points per game allowed to tie to wide receivers, and favorable matchup too for Sam Darnold. So I think that this is going to be a game where I think it's going to be good, but I think the Seahawks pull it out. They win 24-20.
All right, then. Now we go to Miami, where the Dolphins are going to be playing host to the Los Angeles Chargers, who have a very serious running back problem, since Najee Harris is on the injured list on the IR, and they put Omarion Hampton on the IR. Now they got this guy in there. Meanwhile, Miami is just yeah. That's all I can say about Miami. It's just yick. And 4.5 points. Yeah, I'm gonna. And I know I hate to do this to my buddy Alex, our big Dolphins fan, who bleeds the aqua and orange, but I gotta take the Chargers on this one. I'm gonna call it 28-20. I see the Chargers winning and covering.
Yeah, I kind of have that same rationale here. The only edge that the Dolphins have is probably in the running back area. I mean, Devon Achane is one of the best running backs in the league, but it's going to take more than that. They're definitely in trouble in the wide receiver front. The only one that they can really rely on is Jalen Waddle. And oddly enough, though, Darren Waller has actually been pretty solid in his first two games there. I think he might have another decent game, but it's not going to matter. I'm going to take the Chargers to win this one, 26-20.
Yeah, I like I love the Chargers in this one. Obviously, better coach, better quarterback, better defense. So, but I'm looking at this where we can find some plays for fantasy because there are not a lot of ways you can good matchups there because the Chargers rank defensively rank 11th against quarterbacks, 4th against running backs, 4th against receivers, 5th against tight ends. So the Chargers defense has been excellent covering all the skill players. So I mean, is there any? I mean, is there anyone really that you could bank on to start besides Devon Achane and perhaps Darren Waller because I think he's gonna have a lot of targets in this game. There is not a lot you can go out of. And meanwhile, the Dolphins rank 30th against quarterbacks and 28th against running backs. So this feels like an opportunity for Hassan Haskins or Kamani Vidal to really show out and establish himself for a little bit. So I'm going to pick the Chargers to win by a score of 27-13 over the Dolphins.
Alrighty then. Now we go to Pittsburgh. The Steelers are going to be at home. They got a
Oh,
divisional
you skipped one, Tim. We're on Patriots and Saints.
The Saints and the Patriots.
Okay. Yes. So this game was originally a 4:25 p.m. Eastern game, but it was flexed out of that slot into the 1:00 slot.
So that's why. So we got New England going to New Orleans. 3.5-point favorites. The Patriots are.
Mm.
I gotta hand it to New Orleans. I mean, they took care of those Giants and they knocked me out of the elimination. My first wrong lock this week. But I gotta believe that with Drake May and his good arm, I think they'll probably bring the Saints back down to earth a little bit. So I am going to take the Patriots. I'll take the Patriots to win and cover. Get me Patriots over Saints. Let's call this 27 to we'll just give it a respectable total. 27-21. Patriots win and cover.
Yeah, for me, this game has just one word for me: snooze fest. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, this game is very boring for me. Hard to pick a clear-cut winner here. And Patriots have been somewhat okay. Saints have just been god-awful. That win was lucky. I say lucky. And not only that, this is my garbage game of the week.
Aha!
You got lucky this week, Saints. Last week. It's not going to happen again. Give me a very low-scoring game here, and what's going to be a snooze fest. Give me the Patriots to win 13-9.
Yeah, I disagree with you about the point total because neither defense is great, but yeah, I'm with you on Patriots to win and cover because I don't think the Saints are going to get 5 takeaways again like they did last week because credit the Saints for the heart that they've shown because I think the Saints have won 3 of the last 4. Have won the last 2 weeks against the spread, but so I just think a Patriots team. Yes, it's coming. It's coming off the highs of the high of that thrilling victory against Buffalo, but they have they have the head coach advantage. They have the quarterback advantage in this game. And I think they have the defense advantage in this game too. So I feel like this is gonna I feel like it's gonna be a good matchup for Travion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson. I think Drake May should make sure Drake May is in your lineup. Make sure Hunter Henry is in your lineup because I think they all have favorable matchups in this game. So I'm going to pick the Patriots. I think it's going to be a fun game. Yeah, give me them to win 27-23, and I have them covering the 3.5-point spread.
Mm.
All right, then. So we now go to Las Vegas, right? Where
So I think we have one. We have one
Oh
more
yeah,
1 o'clock game.
yes, the Steelers and the Browns. Uh, Pittsburgh's coming in at 5.5-point favorites. This matchup almost seems unfair. I mean, you got the Steelers. They're pretty darn good. And Cleveland, who's pretty darn bad. Don't really have much to say about this, except I think Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers are going to have a field day. Give me the Steelers convincingly over the Browns by a score of 40-16. And Flynn, lock in my Steelers if you would.
Kind of interesting that you mentioned the Browns defense because I've been noticing over the past few days a lot of people have been streaming the Browns defense. I'm not sure what it is about it, but right now they're like 68% owned. I think last I checked.
Wow.
So yeah. So with that being said, I somewhat have an epiphany here. I don't know if it's a fluke or whatnot, but for some reason, with people adding Cleveland's defense, that's it's tempting me to take the Browns with the points here. And because it's a divisional game too, I think that kind of had some implications there. I think the Browns are going to play tough, but the Steelers are still going to win this one by a score of 31-28.
Yeah, I'm with you here on I'm with you on the spread, Natale. I'm gonna take the Browns with the points because I think you look at that defense. Obviously, Myles Garrett is the headliner, and he's going to be he's a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. But lost in the shuffle was who the Browns drafted with their first and second round picks. Mason Graham has transformed the run defense. Because all he did at Michigan was stop the run and made the key play in the Rose Bowl against Alabama to send them to a national championship game and win. And then Carson Schweisinger, who was a tremendous linebacker at UCLA, he's been outstanding he's been outstanding as well because it feels like him being there has made things really good for Schlesinger and yeah, he's been superb, and he ranks the fourth, and his PFF grade for the season is 80.9, which ranks 14th out of 137 qualified linebackers, and
wow.
he has 20. He's been really good. So that was a good pick by the Browns. So so I think you have that, but I think it's a divisional game. The Browns have some matchups in this game. I'm gonna take them. I'm gonna grab the 3.5 there, but I think the Steelers are gonna wind up winning 20-17 over Cleveland.
All right. Now I think we can go to Las Vegas, where the Raiders are going to host the Tennessee Titans. Raiders are picked at 5.5. Yeah, it was good. Tennessee got their victory. Cam Ward, congratulations to him. But they're going up against a Raider team that's kind of tough. I mean, they're not the toughest team in the league, but they can get the job done. I'm just going to make this short here because I'm not really crazy about either one of these two teams, but I'm just going to take the Raiders over the Titans. Call it 28-17. 28-17. Give me the Raiders over the Titans.
Yeah, I'm. Go ahead, Natale.
Okay. I was gonna say, yeah. This one was actually my runner-up choice for garbage game of the week. This one was this one's another tough one too. I mean, both teams are kind of congratulations to the Titans on getting their first win. Yeah, even though they shouldn't have, they somehow pulled it off. I mean, I still see somewhat of a snooze fest here. This one could really go either way, but I'm actually going to take the points again on this one. The Titans, I think, are going to make it interesting in another low-scoring affair, 21-17.
It's I mean, I don't know what to think of the Raiders because Geno Smith has 9 interceptions through 5 games this year. That is just not good. And the Titans are if it wasn't for that DeMercado fumble, the Titans would not have sniffed a comeback win over Arizona. I still think these
Right.
I still think these two teams are ways to go. So I have the Raiders winning and covering by a score of 20-10 because they have a better coach, a better head coach, a better quarterback. So yeah, you think you know where I'm going with this one, guys.
Oh, you're locking it?
No, it's you know where I'm going. This is my garbage game of the week.
Oh.
Yeah, that was my runner-up. Yeah, so I used both of mine, my lock and my garbage. Yeah, Flynn had used his garbage. I think Tim only used his lock, I believe, right? Tim hasn't used his garbage game yet.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do I have a real garbage? I don't
Unless you
really
don't have
see
an
a
official one.
total. I don't really have an official garbage game this week, but
Yeah.
maybe next
Yeah.
week I'll just have to look ahead to next week.
Yeah,
Well,
I didn't have one last week, so yeah, fair enough.
We have a very, very interesting matchup here. We got hold up. Before we do, I got some messages here first from Dashy. Seeing Bengals fans want even Brian Flores, Jesse Miller, or Joe Brady. I'd rather get Joe Brady. Yeah, we talked about Flacco. Packers troubles. And he says he liked the Broncos this week, so it's a nice call there. And then we got I got Rizzo. Hey fellas, how's it going? Now he's got a question. Team Haskins or Vidal?
I think I'm leaning towards Haskins because he was on the active roster before Vidal, so that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah,
a lot of those like fantasy sites they're leaning Haskins also.
Yeah, well, thank you for your question, buddy. We were just about to talk about this game here. The 49ers and the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. Bucks are 3-point favorites. Two pretty good teams here. One, as I said, one is banged up more than a demolition derby, but they're still pretty good. And then you got Tampa Bay with Baker Mayfield, who is playing lights out. Got a couple of guys that have minor injuries. Hopefully they'll be okay right there. 3 points. I think that's exactly how close it's going to be.
Ooh.
I'm going to give it 3 points. So give me. I'm actually going to say Tampa Bay for the win, but I'm going to say San Francisco will cover that spread with exactly 3 points right there.
Interesting.
This will probably be a more interesting game than a lot of people say. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think I see this game as a fairly high scoring affair here. Yeah, 49ers are playing better than a lot of people expected. Yeah, they definitely proved me wrong. I had the prior to the season starting, I had the 49ers finishing in last place. But yeah, right now, boy, am I glad that I'm happy to be proven wrong here. Even when Brock Purdy wasn't playing, they were doing just fine. Yeah, for some reason, when they lose players, they somehow find a way to make that next man up mentality work. And while the Niners are going to make it interesting, they're going to come up a bit short here. I think the Bucks are still slightly better, so I'm going to take the Bucks on this one, 34-30.
Okay. So, Flynn, your pick.
Yeah, I think this is. I have a feeling this game can go either way here because because I think if you look at the types of games Tampa's been playing, their defense has not been great. They've been relying on the MVP of one of the MVP arms in the NFL in Baker Mayfield, but even though I do think the 49ers have matchups in this game, so and I think you're looking more specifically at maybe maybe Jawan Jennings if he's able to come back. I think he'll have a decent matchup, but. I'm gonna pick the Bucks to win this game. I don't think it's gonna be a walk off this time. Unlike the last few weeks for last few wins for Tampa. So it's gonna be a fun one in Tampa, but I think the Niners are I think their high is too high for me. So I think they'll come back down to earth a little bit. I'm gonna pick the Bucks to win 26-21.
Okay, so all picking the Bucks there, and I think we know which way we're all going to be going. In the next game, we got Cincinnati and Green Bay. I can't believe we missed that one here. Let's go ahead and talk about that one, even though I don't think there's really much to talk about since Green Bay is 14.5-point favorites, largest spread of the week, and Joe Burrow is still out.
Yeah.
And Cincinnati is pretty much falling apart. So this was too obvious. This was too obvious for me to make this my lock of the week because I decided to lock the Steelers against the Browns. But this would have been my second choice here. Yeah, Green Bay is just gonna tear the Bengals apart. I'm sorry, Dashy, but I gotta call it Green Bay 35, Cincinnati 20.
Go ahead, Flynn. You go on this one.
Yeah, I have a feeling this is definitely the best bet of the week. I'm picking the Packers to win, the cover. I think the Packers. I think 2 weeks after that Dallas debacle, I think they're going to come out guns a-blazing. I think big game for Jordan Love. I think big game for Matthew Golden. Big game for Josh Jacobs. Give me the Packers to win this one 31-13, and this is also my lock of the week.
Yeah. I'm gonna go in a teeny tiny different wavelength here. I'm actually gonna be a little bit generous on this one. I mean, it seems favorable that they're gonna cover the spread here, but 14.5 I think is a tall order really for anybody. So I'm gonna be generous here. I'm just gonna wing it and take the Bengals with the points, but I'm gonna still take Green Bay to win this one 31-21. We'll see how Flacco good does in his Bengals debut. Let's find out.
Yeah, we'll see how he does.
Let's make it interesting.
All right. We have Sunday. What is this? Is this? This don't make sense.
Yeah.
2 primetime games in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is weird.
So, well, it's the Chiefs, and it's Patrick Mahomes. It's Taylor Swift. Come on now.
No, he's talking about the Monday night games.
Oh
That,
yeah,
but it's an empire that's about to fall, in my opinion. Anyway, it's the Chiefs at home against the Detroit Lions. Chiefs are picked by 2.5, but the way things are going, Chiefs are only picked by 2.5. But if I had to do an upset special, but it's got to be at least 3.5 point favorites. I can say this: I actually think Detroit has a better team.
Hmm.
They have a more solid offense. I think their defense is more solid. So I am taking the Lions over the Chiefs 28-24, and the fall of the Mahoman Empire continues.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you on this one, Tim. And I think the Lions are definitely the better team right now. They got the better weapons. I mean, yeah, Rashid Rice is still one game away from coming back, but it's going to take him time to get into form. I mean, I do have this game as the slugfest and my highest point total for the week. But it's still
Yeah.
going to go toe to toe. But I do have the Lions pulling this one off by a very high scoring game of 41-40.
Wow.
ooh, wow. I mean, shades of the Buffalo Baltimore game a few weeks ago. But look,
Right.
I mean, look, the Chiefs are 2-3, and unfortunately, if they had a better matchup, I would have picked the Chiefs to win based upon what happened last week. Because they had 476 total yards of offense against the Jaguars, and yet it was that Mahomes pick six that was one of the two big plays of the game. The other being that Trevor Lawrence a pass to Brian Thomas Jr. on that final drive, which really set the motion for the winning sequence of plays for the Jaguars. But I'm gonna grab the Lions because I don't think anyone's playing better in the NFL the last month than the Lions. So I think it's gonna be a big game for Gibbs, big game for Monty. I think a good game for Amon St. Brown. So give me the Lions to win this one. I also have the same score as Tim does, 28-24.
Wow. Interesting. Wow. All right, and now we go. Oh my gosh, why do they do these? Do we really need Monday night doubleheaders? I mean, this doesn't make any sense to me. The first one is the Buffalo Bills at the Atlanta Falcons. Buffalo is going into Atlanta as 4.5 point favorites. Uh, Buffalo has a better team than Atlanta, even though Atlanta's not trash. Don't get me wrong, Atlanta's not trash. They got a great running back with Bijan Robinson. Hopefully, Darnell Mooney and Drake London are both healthy. Gotta be healthy because they're pretty good there. And then you got of course you got Josh Allen, his boys. 4.5. I'll take the Bills. Got them winning and covering. Give me the Bills over the Falcons, 27-20.
Yeah, I have the Bills winning and covering this one too. The Falcons are looking pretty decent here and there. They upset the Commanders last time, but I don't think they're gonna do so this time here. They're gonna make it interesting. It's gonna come down to the final drive, but Falcons are gonna fail to score. So give me the Bills victory, 34-26.
Yeah, I'm grabbing the 4.5 points with the Atlanta Falcons this week. So I do think it's clear that the Bills dearly miss Ed Oliver and they dearly miss Matt Milano. You know, they're two best run stoppers, and which running back are they playing this week? Maybe the most perhaps the best running back in the NFL, and Bijan Robinson. So yeah, I think Bijan is going to single-handedly keep the Falcons in this game. So, but I think the Bills pull it out at the end with Josh Allen. But although mind you, will I say though. So that here the Falcons opponent ranks against each position. Quarterback 4th, running back 1st, wide receiver 6th, tight end 1st. So the Falcons pose some tough matchups, and their defense is better than people give them credit for. And that Carolina debacle was all about the offense, not the defense. And this is the Falcons team coming off a bye week too. So I think that they had an extra week to prepare and figure out how to attack the problems that Josh Allen poses on every week. So I think it's gonna be a field goal game, 26-23. I'm gonna Bills win, but I'm grabbing the points with Atlanta.
Alrighty then. One more question here before we get to the last of the games for this week. John Abruzzo says trade Mahomes and Jacoby for Lamar.
Ooh, that's. I think it's gonna be more interesting for Mahomes, right? Because he's been a top 3 quarterback in fantasy land, and he doesn't, and he gets Rashee Rice back after starting next week. So.
So,
I don't hate it, but I would personally pass on that.
yeah, Mahomes is pretty solid, so I would not touch him. So, thanks for your question there, John. And speaking of that, let's go to the final matchup of the week. The Chicago Bears going to Washington, taking on the Commanders. The Commanders are 4.5-point favorites. Yeah, Washington's slightly kind of banged up too. I think there is a possibility that Jaden Daniels will be able to play this week. So I think that's going to make a little bit of difference. Caleb Williams, he's doing okay, but I think Washington is just a little bit better. I'm picking the Commanders to win and cover. Give me the Commanders 28-17 over the Chicago Bears.
Ooh, yeah. For some reason, this game screams trap for me. This game feels like a trap. Yeah. Yeah, somehow the Bears are not doing terrible. Yeah, Ramon Doomsday is having a great sophomore year in the NFL. Yeah, Caleb Williams, yeah, he's been pretty good. Yeah, Washington's banged up. I got to go with the team that has the better health right now. I'm taking an upset special here.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm feeling the upset.
Sound the alarm.
Yeah, something about this Bears team actually isn't half bad. I mean, I had the Bears going to the playoffs, and before the season started, in my predictions, I did not put the Commanders in the playoffs. So with that, I feel like the Bears are streaking a little bit. They're doing better than people anticipated. I'm going to go Bears on this one, 24-23. Why not?
I hear your point, Natale. And there's something about the Bears. Maybe it's the head coach. So, but they have not played a great game yet this year. The blowout win was against Dallas and that defense. But they should not have won that Raider game. That they blew a 17-6 lead in the fourth quarter to the Vikings, and they got punked by they got punked by the Lions by a lot. So there hasn't been one game this year where the Bears have looked great. But I do think this is a Bears team coming off a bye. And I think they're going to keep this game close. So I'm going to take Washington to win 31-27, but I'm going to grab the points here with Chicago.
All right. Well, at least taking the points. Won't ride with that. That's good.
Yeah.
Very interesting there. So
we had a partial agreement. We agreed on the coverage at least.
Yeah, there we go. So that's our that's pretty much our picks for this week. And time to answer the only trivia question that we had tonight. Kind of going back to this question that I heard on the radio last week about the Cowboys, but I wanted to do it for the New York Giants to see if our Giants fans knew the answer. So the question is, before Jameis Winston won his Heisman Trophy and then came to the oh my gosh, I got to I just cleared out my just cleared out my screen here, so let me call this. Let me call it back up again. Okay, so Jameis Winston won the Heisman Trophy. Then after a couple years, he got put into the New York Giants. So before Jameis Winston, who was the last Heisman winner to put on a Giants uniform?
Yeah, I feel like it's one of their quarterbacks for some reason. I don't know why. Like, I was kind of pivoting between Kerry Collins and what was his name? Phil Simms. Oh yeah. I mean, although Phil Simms seems like super obvious, I think I've been kind of thinking about him the whole time for some reason. I'm gonna go Phil Simms.
So Flynn's going with Phil Simms.
So I'm thinking this is a running back though. So that's because running backs have won Heisman. So, but what was it? Someone that the Giants had to pick up as like a free agent, for injury replacement.
Let's see. Tiki Barber, Brandon Jacobs, Ahmad Bradshaw.
But I don't think those guys won Heisman's though.
Rodney Dixon. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I meant to say Rodney Hampton. That's what I meant. That was the running back from the 90s.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Well, you're thinking it could be Rodney Hampton?
But see, I feel like Rodney Hampton was too much in the past for Heisman's, and usually Heisman winners play with different teams. Not just one. So I'm trying to think who's won Heisman's in the last few years.
Yeah. Other than that, I can't think of any other running backs.
Yeah.
Also was one of their old tight ends, Mark Bravo.
Mark Bravaro.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm probably wrong, but I'm just going to go with my original guess.
And you say Phil Simms, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Flynn, can you think of anyone?
No, I'm gonna guess Devontae Freeman.
Oh, I forgot he played for the Giants. Oh, that's a good one. I forgot he was there.
Okay, so Flynn says Devontae Freeman. Natale says Phil Simms.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe you guys do not remember Ron Dane.
Okay. Yeah, he was from the 90s. I've heard of that name.
Yeah. He won the Heisman in 1999 out of Wisconsin, and then he played for the Giants from 2000 to 2004.
Okay. Yeah, I think he shared the ball with Rodney Hampton. I think that was that same team. Dang.
Yeah, it was Ron Dane. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Ron Dane and Tiki Barber were teammates.
Maybe.
They were Thunder and Lightning. Correct me if I'm wrong.
So, Ron Dane was on that 2000 Giants team that went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he played a little bit with Denver, then a little bit with the Houston Texans.
Yeah. So. Well, that's I was thinking that I might have stumped you guys, but I didn't think I was going to stump you that bad.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I wasn't that far off when I was thinking about Rodney Hampton. Well, technically, Flynn thought running backs. Flynn had the right position, but I was way off. When I was rounding out a bunch of names.
I hear you. Well, it looks like our time is almost up. But before we do, Flynn, we need some reminders. Some
Yeah,
little PR.
Yeah, Hooked on Sports coming out this week. Obviously, some of the stuff that's been going with some of the big games for Week 6 in the NFL, and also try to record another episode later on where I talk about some of the other stuff, including baseball playoffs, which are hot and heavy, the start of the NHL season. So it's a lot of stuff to dialed up on that. So.
And remember, folks, you don't have to just listen to them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You can
That's
watch
right.
them. And I do have that website, correct? YouTube.com/John Flynn.
I think you're on that similar track, yeah.
Okay, so you not only have to listen, but you can watch as well. Also, don't forget, Pen Game Pick'ems tomorrow night, 10 Eastern, 9 Central, with me, Alex Lucas. Have our own little thing going on. It'll be back tomorrow night after they took a week off, with Alex joining us last week. And of course, we'll talk about Week 6.
Oh, yeah, and then one final reminder. I think we forgot to mention it, but the Vikings and the Texans are on a bye this week. I think we forgot to say that.
Yep.
Oh yes, the Vikings and the Texans are on the bye. I totally forgot about that. So
Yeah.
if you're a fan of the Vikings or the Texans, sorry folks, we'll have to get back to you next week.
So you're thinking Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, and T.J. Hawkinson,
Nico Collins.
Yep, that's the big one for the Texans.
Yeah. So when they get back up on the scene. All right, well, I guess that will do it for this edition of Fantasy Football Fever. Thank you all so much for joining us. We will be back here 7 nights from now. So, for John Flynn, for John Natale, I'm Timothy McClellan. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great week. Enjoy the games. See you back here next week. God bless you all, and as always, be a good sport. See ya.